walks down the street. Another girl in the neighborhood. I wish she was mine.
Well, you're very welcome to Derry. Can you just tell us why you're here?
Well, myself and my friend Gary Armstrong. Gary Armstrong wrote a book about like the definitive history of Sheffield United, and we often discuss. There's a particular passage there about a player called Billy Gillespie, who was affiliated with both Derry City and Sheffield United, and the sort of connection with the colours, you know, the red and white stripes, which we both play in. So that was the kind of thing that got us talking, you know, myself and Gary, and the fact that it's never really been explored. It's quite an interesting story, and we thought it would be nice to acknowledge that. And we've been, you know, the Derry City have been very kind in inviting us over, and you know, to say hello to each other. But I suppose first and foremost, this is the player himself, Billy Gillespie, who played for Sheffield United for almost 20 years, and he was a great, one of the greats of our club. Great midfield player, captained Sheffield United to victory over Cardiff City. I think that's the last time we won the FA Cup in 1925. And then came to Derry as manager in 1932, and the red and white stripes were adopted in 1934, I believe. And so it's an interesting story which has never been really explored. And you know, as I said, myself and Gary thought it would be good, and we got in contact with Derry City, and they rang us back, and here we are. You know, so I think it's a good thing.
So is Derry City going to be your team in Ireland now?
Yeah.
Excellent.
They already were, so they certainly are now.
Have you ever been here before in this area? Have you heard much about Derry City before you came?
Not really. I mean, I've been to Southern Ireland, to the Republic of Ireland, quite a few times to film and visit friends, to Dublin and Sligo, and Galway and Leenane. You know, quite a few jobs and films that I've made in those places, but it's the first time I've been to Derry, and you know, I just came. We just got here about 2 hours ago, and you know, I mean, it's a lovely day, and it's a lovely city. You know, it's very picturesque and beautiful, and people have been very, very welcoming. You know, I mean, apart from its political history, you know, it's I suppose that often overwhelms the actual place itself, and you know, the people, and the you know, I look at it and I think, you know, it's almost like being in, you know, in a place in Europe, a very, you know, a continental sort of feel to it, you know. And you know, I'm very much looking forward to the football match. I've never been to a football match in Northern Ireland, and I'm see what a reception I get.
You're talking about football. Why the Blades and not the Owls?
I don't know really. I mean, well, I mean, I suppose when I was growing up, and my grandfather supported Sheffield United, and my dad supported them. All my family did. They're all red and white. And it was also the area. You know, there were certain areas that it's not so much now, but it's sort of the areas that you lived in. We used to live, or my family lived in the east end of Sheffield, which was more Sheffield United supporters than there were Wednesday, and I suppose you could trace it back from there. There's no, you know, I think it's a family thing. You know, you grow up to go and watch the Blades at Bramall Lane, and not to sort of go and see Sheffield Wednesday elsewhere if possible, unless we're playing them.
Did you get to go to many matches this season?
I didn't get to see many. I was over in America for quite a few months last year. So I went to see, I think, Stoke City and QPR and a few other games, but not quite as many as I would have liked to see. But I do try and get up there, and we often drive up, spend a weekend in Sheffield, and come back down Monday.
Do you, I know you're a big supporter. Do you stand with the lads, or have you special celebrity status where you have a private box or at Bramall Lane?
I've kind of done everything really, and I've sort of gravitated back to standing with the lads, or friends and spectators. You know, because I stepped down as a director of the club about 6-7 months ago, and I started watching it. You know, I was sitting on the cop and sitting with my dad again, and I think there's a much I don't know, it's more of an atmosphere, more of a more of a buzz than there is sitting in the director's box or behind a glass you know, a glass panelling. So you know, when I go up now, I kind of sit on the terraces and enjoy it from there.
With you?
My girls? No, I don't. I've done in the past, but we played Sheffield Wednesday about 2 years ago. We beat them at Hillsborough. I mean, that was a wonderful occasion, as you can imagine. And but they're not really into it. You know, I took them all. I've done my duty, and I've took them all once. I mean my littlest, she's 9 now, Eva. I took her when she was about 6 months old, so she didn't know what was going on, but at least she'd been. And they've never been since.
When Saturday comes, did you really enjoy it because of the connection with Sheffield United?
Yeah. I mean, it was a low budget. I mean, we didn't have a great deal of money to make the film, and but it was a fantastic experience, especially going onto the pitch. Some of it was filmed during the half-time period, and we were playing Manchester United in a quarter-final match at Bramall Lane with the floodlights on and everything, and I had to go in at half-time, and you know, I know it was coming up, and I was really terrified. You know, just the prospects of going to 35,000 fans and in the red and white stripes, and taking penalties in front of the Kop where my dad and my granddad at the time were standing. You know, that's something that you never believe you could do. I know I'd never play for him, so I suppose that's the next best thing. But it was an incredible experience. And once I got on, I was fine. You know, I was just like buzzing. And I think they were waiting to come on, Man United players and Sheffield United players. And I just wanted to keep taking penalties then, because I kept us in the crossbar, didn't I? On purpose, you know, of course. But it was that was incredible. That was.